to see how different things work and different systems to see how uh, they're different and how they
Hmm.
work. Um, so um, so anyway, I just wanted to ask a few questions about this system. One is uh, I don't know where the money is going. I don't see anything where it says it's invested into this, and this, and it can't. I don't see anything where you can follow what the money is doing, when, how much is being invested, is it all being invested into what, and how is there a calculation done based off of if say you invest $1,000, and then at the end of the day you get whatever, a dollar. How do I know how that calculation was made?
No, no. First of all, thank you so much for sharing your, of course, the negative experiences in this industry. And we have been down this road before. I personally have as well. I lost around 80K in one project previously, so I feel the pain. I do understand the pain totally as well. So I just want to acknowledge that. That's one thing. We've been burned before, and including myself. On or with regards to the questions you're asking me, so it is the way that Brian Benson had set this up. The way it's been done in such a way where it's a PAM account. So our collective funds goes into a, like, let's say my good friend Hugh Paul has already seen the trading systems and everything like that. So he has already been. You can even go in there and we can even arrange a call with the traders and the CEO. Not an issue. Okay, but I can
Okay.
say to you that my friend Hugh Paul, who has put in about 100K of his own money in the project as an investor, he has had the meeting with the traders and he has seen. So what they have done is they've got about 29 million being traded right now. Okay, and
Yeah.
that 29 million that's been traded goes into Binance, OKX, and Bybit. So he has seen accounts where there's 10 million in Binance and let's say another few million here. So literally what happens is collective money goes into like a PAM account, and that's been traded and they generate roughly, there's a track record of since 2023 of that particular EXAI bot trading and achieving a certain level, let's say 15, 16, 17% a month average since 2023. Okay. Now,
Okay.
of that funds that they, the actual the monthly that they generate in profit, what they do is certain amount gets released to the people who are investors. So if I was to put in even $100, I only, even though they may make 17% or 15, 16% on that $100, they only release nearly like 11% to me. Okay, so they
Okay.
release 11% as a to that category of investors. So between 100 to let's say $250 investors. And then if you look at the next lot of investor from 250 to 1,000, they release a little bit more, and a little bit more, a little bit more. And then here, what is interesting is that even the amount that they release. So if they release, let's say, 11%, only there's a profit sharing of 60/40. So it means that in terms of sustainability, in terms of what they're making in sustainability,
You can
they
see
have.
here the packages in front of you. I just put them in. Yeah.
Okay, so there's two splits then. One is if it's 15%, they release 11, but then they divide the 11 by the 60/40, so you're at six and a half basically out of the 15 if you're on your basic, right?
Heron, do you see my screen?
Yes, I do. Yeah, I see your screen.
So
Yeah.
so maybe this is what you were trying to explain, that depending on the deposited amount, the client share will be different.
Yes, but what I'm hearing you say is that on the basic one, the one at the bottom, can you scroll to the first one? So the
Yeah,
basic. So say
yeah.
you're saying if you make 15%, the bot makes 15% in the month. It releases 11% to the client. Say okay, so say for easy sake, it's 10%. Um, then you're giving the person with the basic 60% of that. So essentially, they're getting 6% or 6/15 of the profit.
Correct.
So what happens to that 4% between 11
That
and 15?
Yeah, so that is what the company takes. Okay, so what I'm simply saying is this is what Aurum takes. So as one the depositor as the depositor increases the deposit, it goes into, let's say, standard, comfort, optimal, and so on and so forth. It is this way they're releasing higher amount of monthly as well as higher amount of profit sharing. So it goes from 60/40 to the highest level as 90/10 profit sharing. So
Yes.
this is the way the packages are designed.
Okay, so there's two different splits. One is with Aurum and one is with the bot.
No, the bot itself is Aurum. Aurum is the bot.
Okay, so Aurum takes the sorry, did they take the 4% or the
So
4 out of
yeah, the Aurum takes if you're looking at the 60/40 split of that amount that's released, let's say 10% for argument's sake here. So $6, let's say in a $10, $6 goes to the depositor, $4 goes back to Aurum. Okay.
Okay, and
So
then the other portion goes where? Because you're talking about between 15 and 10%. There's another
yeah.
split.
Okay. So both of those split, the 60/40 or the even 90/10 or the split, as well as the actual, shall we say, the profit sharing part, not profit sharing, sorry, the released profit, the monthly profit, even
Yes.
that, those two elements, both of those goes into Aurum. And what they do with that, of course, is, in terms of there's of course there is the composition plan expenses, there is other elements to the marketing cost. There's a lot of other elements to that they cover for the cost of it.
Okay. Okay, so basically if there's 15% on the month and you're on
Hmm.
the basic plan, you're getting basically 30%, 35% of whatever the profit is, and
Correct.
65 is actually going to Aurum for expenses and their share.
Correct. And
Okay.
and and the other thing also, you can obviously do the here one can auto compound. So and they can choose to compound at will. So they can, meaning if they wanted, let's say some people may say have the strategy of compounding for 15 days and 15 days worth of profit they can take out. I'll give you an example. For someone who is this is proven. So someone's put in 10K, which is HIPPO. He allowed it to compound for 3 months, nearly sort of 4 months, fourth month. He had already doubled his 10,000 into 20,000. So his next strategy is, once now that he has doubled his account, now he stopped the compounding happening, and anything that is released from, let's say month four onwards, he's going to withdraw the profit so that he can de-risk himself by taking the 10K out in the next 2 months or so of any profits made, and then rest of it he can sit. So what I'm saying is some people may have 15 days profit, 15 days compounding. Some people may say I'm going to compound for 3 months. So I'm saying there's a bit more controlled flexibility on that.
And then if you compound your money, say you have you put in $1,000 like I did, Canadian, and then I just put it on compound. It grows to 2,000. I heard
Yes.
that I just heard something new today. Maybe I didn't hear it before, or maybe it wasn't said. But if you take your money out, your deposit out, can you take your deposit out without any fees, or is there a fee associated with taking your deposit out?
Okay, so there is a fee associated taking deposit out before 12 months. So normally in this kind of situation where whether you're staking or you're, funding accounts or anything like that, and you're staking for, let's say, 12 months or so, you don't even have access to the seed money. You only have access to the profit until the contract finishes of, well, let's say, 1 year. Here, what I'm saying is, Aurum is saying is, yes, you have access to your seed money. Okay. But if you were to take it out before 12 months, you're going to pay a penalty of 35% on the seed money. If you take it out after 12 months, no penalty. You can take the entire amount out, including the profit as well.
Okay, so it's just the first year that there's a penalty of 35.
Only first year, correct?
So the question also I had is, so um,
Wait,
um,
just a detail because the just to complete this answer is Heron. I have heard that when you have a specific amount, this penalty maybe could be lift up because I'm not sure, but let's say I don't know if what's the amount. If you have like 50,000 in deposit, maybe then uh, you can withdraw it without penalty or not. It's not the same penalty. Am I correct? Or it's the same penalty?
No, no, no. Whether you're putting $100 or $100,000, the
Yeah.
penalty for 12 months is same. The only thing, I mean, what I'm going to share with you here is if you think about the actual, I mean, yeah. So I guess say, but if you use in different strategies, so I guess yeah. So short answer is definitely there is penalty before within 12 months. Yeah, that's the short answer of it. Yeah.
Okay,
so
so, but
I have a
go
question
ahead.
for that
Yeah.
as well. Is now if I invest 1,000, I compound that for 8 months, and it goes to 3,000 in 8 months.
Mhm.
If I want to take out 2,000, is there a penalty on the 2,000, or is there only a penalty on the original investment?
Oh, okay, okay, that's a very, very good question. Okay, so think of it this way: if you're compounding for that duration of 8 months, and you're putting that, let's say, $100, $10, $50, whatever amount you're putting back in, because of what the profit, whatever the profit is made, that particular, reinvestment starts its own course of 12 months. Yeah. So each one, it starts its own cycle of 12 months. So each time you're reinvesting, so it's like literally when when you're putting when you're compounding and you're putting the funds back in, it's like you're reinvesting. So which means that it is that deposit going in, that deposit of whatever the amount is, will start a cycle of 12 months in its own right.
Oh,
So yeah.
I understand that. I wasn't explained this before I started though.
Apologies for we are all learning. I personally have only
I
been
just
involved
I
with this.
just learned that too. It's
Yeah.
just we don't have all these questions. You seem to have a lot more question
But
and good
John,
questions actually.
no, no, we are all learning, and so this is something that I've also. So we are. This is obviously early stages. It's been about 6 weeks now for me personally as well. So going through the learning curve, I guess. But it doesn't mean that you should not have got the right information. So apologies for that. What I would say is this: when it comes to, you don't have to wait necessarily 8 months or so to de-risk yourself, as I mentioned here. So even after 4 months later, form of compounding, if you were to stop the compounding effect happening, whatever the profit is released to you, you can just withdraw on a daily basis if you want to, and you can obviously de-risk yourself. You don't have to wait for it to then, 8 months later, you want to take the 2,000 out, and then you find that 35% is taken. So there's lots of ways of slicing the cake.
You have another product if you're thinking about taking out your money, then maybe you should consider using the XAI Bot Pro, because with the
Yes.
XAI Bot Pro there is no such penalty. It's on Telegram. The returns are lower though. You have to know that the returns are lower. I think instead of 15%, it's like 10%. But
Yeah.
at least you can take your money
Without
out
any
more.
penalty.
Exactly.
That's not my intent here.
Okay.
The only reason I'm asking is I just want to know facts.
Oh no,
Okay.
that's
Yeah.
perfectly good, John. I,
Yeah,
I
but
agree with you totally.
let's say you have someone that ask you the question, and for him he can't risk keeping his money 1 year. Then you can propose him this other solution, the XAI Bot Pro.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that answers a lot of my questions. I just wanted to confirm. On the top of the basic uh, and standard and comfort, it says 10.5, 11.37, 12.25. I just wanted to confirm with you, is that the average rate of return for the investor on their actual income after all expenses paid to Aurum.
Sorry, Todd, if you could repeat that question again. What is the
Okay,
gist of the
so
question?
say if you look at business, the business
Yeah.
account, it says
Mm-hmm.
14%, right?
Yes. Yes,
Now,
correct.
is that the average or expected amount being received by the investor, or is that a whole divided by split between Aurum and the investor? Is that
Oh,
fourteen
okay, okay,
percent
okay. So,
the actual realized by the investor, or is that actually a 14
Realize.
as a whole divided by Aurum and
okay,
the investor?
okay. So 14% in this instance when it comes to business one account or any of the level there, business one, 14% is what's released by Aurum. Yeah. So this is what's released. So they are making more than likely, like I said, about averaging on the total amount of funds, about 17%, 15, 16%, 17%. They're releasing 14% to that category of investors. Yeah.
Okay.
And of that, 80% goes to the actual investor and 20% goes to the company.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay, so that 14% is still divided.
Yes,
That 14% is still
80/20.
divided is in the form of 80/20, correct?
Okay. All right. So then you're like the business is probably getting 12% or something like that. It's not 14.
That's correct. Absolutely right. Yeah. 100% right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. No, that's what I'm just trying to figure out here what those and these numbers are approximate. They're not uh
Yeah.
set in stone.
They-
This is
They're,
just
they're not, yeah,
averages.
that's correct.
Correct?
Averages. It could be slightly less, it could be slightly more, but that's the average. That is the average amount, yeah.
Hopefully it stays like it is now because for me it's more than this.
Oh, because through the
Yeah.
compounding effect, obviously it's going to be much more
Ah,
than 40.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
through the
that's true.
compounding effect, you're actually getting more than this anyway. But that
Oh,
in reality, that's also the fact that the bot is okay, getting more smarter as is doing more and more trades. Is actually realizing more higher profit. Therefore, they will more than likely release more as well as time goes by. So this is
mhm.
approximate.
Okay, so these numbers are actually not compounding numbers.
They're not compounding numbers at all. No, 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 no,
The
no.
14 is not a compounding. That
Mm,
is just if you invest and you take all of your profit, you get
yeah,
averaging 14%.
correct. It's not. It definitely does not take into account compounding. So you're actually going to be making more, through that process. So if you look at, if you scroll down a bit, please, Hadi.
Okay.
And if you go to the says of profit calculator, if you were to put in there, if you were to put in a sum on there, let's say you put in 10K in there or 1,000 in the example here, and if you please toggle on the actual compound calculator, the toggle that on, yes please, and that gives you a rough idea of that 1,000. What is it making in 12 months approximately? So people can play with the figures. It's an approximate idea. It just gives an estimate of approximate of what is possible for that particular 1,000 to be making based on certain factors that we've just discussed with the compounding as well.
So when it's compounding at the end of 1 year, you can't
Yeah.
take the 4509 if it actually is that without the 35%. But then there's a calculation on every single day that you make something is a sliding deletion. So if you have 364 days in the account for your
Uh-huh.
investment, you still
Yeah.
get hit with a 35% deduction.
Okay, so yeah, you are absolutely right in thinking that way and saying that as well. But the only thing to bear in mind is that by that time, 1 year later, your 1,000 that you put in is obviously already got matured. So you've taken that 1,000 out, and the remainder of that $3,509, of course, that is like a sliding scale, like you said, in terms of the days and things. But the other so the other way to look at it as well is that maybe it will take another couple of months or so after the 12 months is over, if you do not want to pay the 35%, for you to then stop the compounding effect and allow the actual whatever the profit is made on a daily basis just to extract it out so that you don't pay the 35%. It may take another 3 months to extract that out, but you will be able to take it out without paying the penalty.
Okay, that makes sense. And the reason for them with this giving this penalty is what? Because they already are making, um, like, what did you say? Like from the 15, and you get six, they're already making 11 already, on the basic. So
Yeah.
why do they want to also take more after that from
Okay.
the profit?
So Okay, so two reasons. Two reasons. One of the biggest reasons is this: if you're my friend John, I involve you, and I say, John, put 10K in there, okay? And because because you can, because I know from being part of the organization that you can withdraw the money whenever you want to, okay? So as a greedy person who's basically unscrupulous, maybe, and I may say, because I'm going to get a commission from that. So I'm going to get 5%, I'm going to get maybe 9%, 10%, and so on and so forth. So if I had a few Johns who I've said, okay, put 10K in, put 10K in, put 10K in. I then went ahead and just simply withdrew. I made the profit, I made my commissions, and I withdrew my commissions. Okay. And then all my friends have just taken their funds out. The companies, obviously there is no, this is not a sustainable model for people who may have wrong intentions of doing what I've just described to you. So that's one of the biggest reasons why.
Okay, so you're getting
Um,
a commission. So someone is getting a commission from whenever someone is putting money in, somebody above them is getting a commission for them investing.
they're getting commission from the marketing budget from the company.
Okay.
Yeah, because the company doesn't advertise anywhere. It has a certain, but if you look at, when you ask me, what did they do with, not what did they do with, they're taking much more than what they would, than what they're giving to the investor. That funds that they're making, they're distributing it to for the marketing budget, for the this, for that. So some of that goes into, like I said, they're paying at the marketing cost. A person, they have not made all that money from that particular funds that's been invested, but yet they're also making sure the people who are recommending, referring, affiliate program that they have is obviously getting, they're paying that sort of for the marketing, as from the marketing budget. So in that sense, yes, someone is, but not necessarily from that initial person's deposit, but from that company's marketing budget. So this is the one of their way of making sure that things are, sustainable.
Okay, so that makes sense completely in the regard of deposits. But when it comes to actual profit, nobody's making a profit on profit other than the investor, correct?
Uh, no, no, no. So, for example, each time so look at it like this now. The way the compensation plan is designed on the other side, the way the compensation plan is designed is each time a deposit or reinvestment of that, whatever profit is made, the person who is, it also feeds into the compensation plan. Okay. So the company is ongoing when it comes to creating a win-win-win situation, for building the community, for getting the investor there in terms of what they would normally not get in a regular bank, allowing the money to work for them, and also the company is also sustainable and making money. So all three angles are looking. So when you're reinvesting, when you're doing compounding, so there is an element of people who have referred and looking after the customers for the company being rewarded ongoing as well.
There is also other expenses. There is all the fees that when they trade in Binance, when they trade in all this platform, there is a lot of fees also they need to cover.
Yes.
And every user needs to be hosted in a server.
Yes.
So there is also servers, and there is the support team, the traders, so there is people and expenses that needs to be taken care of. There is also um, compliancy fees because they are based in Dubai, right?
They're based in Dubai and Hong Kong. Yeah.
Yeah, in Hong Kong. So it's not only profit without cost here.
Yeah, I understand. I fully understand that. And when I'm looking at what they're taking from, say, from the 15, you get six. There's a lot of fees taken from that, but I'm still struggling with if you're just taking the profit as not compounding, there's no fees. So why is there a 35% fee if you compound it? How is there actually a 35% cost to them for that
Oh,
to
okay.
be compounded on top versus
Okay.
just taking it as cash?
Sure, sure, sure. Look at it this way. Each compound, so each amount that is reinvested, so that person who obviously made the profit they has a choice. They can withdraw that profit if they want to. Okay, in which case they will pay. When, by the way, just so that you're aware, just in case you're not aware, is each time someone withdraws any amount, there is a 1% and $1 charge.
Okay.
Yeah. So whenever
Yeah.
there is a withdrawal made, there is a 1% and $1 or $1 or $2 charge, depending on the gas fee. So what I'm saying is the person who is making that profit, they have a choice. The choice is to either withdraw or to reinvest. So what I'm saying here is when someone is reinvesting, it's like a fresh money for the company, which they have to deal with. And so that is that, and then that gets put into that will get put into the PAM account. So the process is the same, whether you are whether because that goes into the main balance, and then from the main balance it goes into the bot. So the process of you is sending the funds over from maybe Binance or anywhere else and into the main balance into Orum, and then you are sorry about that, I had a call come through. Yeah, so then you are then sending it. Then you are sending it from the main balance into the bot, activating it. It's almost the same process of you not withdrawing and taking to the main balance and then so there is a little process involved in there, and that element of it is what actually is what that element is the one that is there is a cost element to all of those things. So but I mean ultimately the rules is made by the company, and they're saying, look, I mean the way I'm looking at it is if I'm making around 10%, 15% a month, on my money through a compounding process, which I wouldn't get anywhere else, that's the kind of thing. What's in it for me? What am I getting? Despite the fact that they're taking X, Y, and Z for themselves, I'm just thinking to myself, okay, what is myself and my community of people who are getting? Are they getting better? Are they better off than they were in other places, or are they better off staying in other places? That's the way I'm looking at it.
Oh, I agree with you 100%. I'm not arguing about the fees and whatnot. If you can get say 10% on your money per month, that's insane. Like it's
Yeah,
crazy. No other place you can get that
yeah.
without serious risk. Because investments that are that volatile that you can make 10% in a month, you could lose it all too.
Absolutely.
So, the other question I had is, um, do you have any transaction days that are negative, or is every day
No.
positive?
For the end user in terms of the investor, there isn't a single day that is negative. But the company obviously has ups and downs, but it is not reflected on the investor.
How can you explain that? If the company isn't making money in a trade in a day, how can the investor make money still
Okay. So
positive?
what I'm saying is they may have ups and downs. So some days they make 14%, some day they make 15%, some days they may make 19%, 17%. So what I'm saying is the end the investor who puts in $100 or 1,000 or 10,000, 100,000. What I'm saying is there's fluctuation maybe in more or less what they're getting, but there isn't any minus. But in fact, they're not necessarily for even when they're trading, they're not making sort of minus days where they're not making anything. So what I'm saying is there is ups and downs, and there's consistent results you can see since 2023 of the whole chart where you see the whole chart where you can see the results, the how consistent they've been achieving certain levels of results.
Yes.
And as the bot is getting more and more intelligent in terms of the information is gathering, is getting better and better at doing that. So what I'm saying is there are ups and downs in the monthly profit achieved, but I have not seen a single month where they were like sort of minus figures.
Okay,
Amazing.
that sounds good. Um,
It
and
is.
now, so is there going to be a live uh, um, screen per se to show where the money is going to be actually invested into to actually see how it's doing during the day, where you can actually monitor on a daily basis what's happening with your account?
Yes, yes. So that is definitely something that we have put to Brian Benson and the team and Ahmed Zen, the marketing director. That look ultimately, in this space, this ROI space is very, very scammy, unscrupulous. Like sharks out there. Sort of sharks out there. So we need to find a transparent way of showing to our clients and ourselves that what they're saying, what they're doing is exactly what they're saying and actually what they're doing. So the more transparent we can be, the easier at ease our clients and ourselves will feel.
Well,
Because
yeah.
we'll know where the money is going. So we have put that to the table already for Brian Benson, and he's definitely working on showing it to you on your phone, on your app itself. So you
Yeah.
can you can see the connection and everything. But on a level where right now as it is, oh, sorry about that. Had a call come through. So on the level of where it is right now, I have had, like I said, Hugh Paul and everything. Someone who is okay. I keep calling. Okay, so the main thing here is that there is the transparency aspect of it is in the works. The transparency aspect of it is in the works, and then we'll make sure that. Let me just tell this person now. Hold on 5 minutes. 5 minutes, please. That's fine. Yeah, sorry, I had another meeting arranged as well, but I'll go in 5 minutes. It's not a problem. So
Okay.
the important aspect, John, is this. Yes, this definitely has been conveyed to Brian. Brian is aware of that, and he's making sure that in the next short space of time, that there will be transparency to the point where you'll be able to see, hashtags and also, I mean, so hashtags. You can see the actual where the funds are going. You can track the money and everything like that. So you'll have access to all that information.
So it'll be like a live value of your portfolio in real
Yeah,
time.
correct. That's exactly what is actually on the. That is exactly what they're working on right now. Yes.
Actually, this level of transparency is already available on the other product, though the XAI Bot Pro, because when you see the presentation,
Correct.
Paul was able to trace the address, the transaction address, and then you can see when, how much went in, how much went out. So that level of transparency is already available. So I see no reason why it won't be available in the back office soon. And also, there is something that we need to mention. The project with Aurum is they will have their own exchange. So the level of transparency will be way more easier because it will, I think all these trades will be made in their exchange.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
Can
So
I ask another question, Heron?
yeah, please do.
When it comes to taxes on this, are we taxed on this money when we take it out?
No, no. This is something you can declare yourself if you want to, but this is not. There is no reporting. There is no. The company doesn't. It is something that you decide to report and pay taxes if you want to, but it's not necessarily taken to a social services or inform government. Nothing like that.
Well, that's
The only
nice.
the only way you can be flagged for tax if ever you withdraw that money, you put it back onto your Coinbase to put it back into your bank account. This is the only way this could be traced.
And we don't need to do that because we can order the debit card, which is no KYC
Yes.
required. You can just simply transfer the funds onto that debit card, and you can be a nomad and spend it wherever you want to at will without any questions.
So
Okay.
that's
All
I
right.
have
Well,
to go,
that's
guys. Thank you very much, Heron, and thank you, John. It was an amazing question session, by the
Yes, it
way.
was.
Very,
I
Yes.
very,
learned a
very
lot.
good question.
Yes.
you
Yes,
know what?
John.
When you get
Good job,
burned,
John.
Yeah.
you start having more questions than just going in like a sheep. You know, follow the sheep.
Yeah.
No, I'm the black sheep. Okay, I need to know what's going on, and I'm walking the other direction until I know what's going on.
Thank you, Heron. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your
You're
Hopefully you
welcome, sir.
get
Welcome.
all got cleared out. If you have more question, we can work on that another time. I have to go.
All
Good
right.
Wonderful,
questions,
wonderful.
John. Amazing response, Heron. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank you. Take care of yourself. Speak to you again soon. All the best,
Take care,
everyone.
guys.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
So let me just summarize this because I'm still recording this. Those of you who have questions, I hope you watch this once, twice, three times, four times, five times. As a financial advisor, I am still learning for 10 years. X, let me put an X beside it. But I am a marketer. I'm a network marketer. I'm an affiliate marketer. I'm a partner. I'm resourcer. I'm a consultant. I'm Arif Gilany. I can break down a very complex project to the for the average man to understand. I want everybody to tell you what's your superpower. My superpower is to break down complex things you don't understand into a level which you understand and can explain it to other. Hadi, what's your superpower at the end of the presentation, my friend?
Hadi's
Hadi's
gone.
gone.
Yeah, he's not
Okay,
here.
John, tell me what's your superpower, please. You just interviewed this man and I recorded the whole thing and it was amazing. What's your superpower?
Well, I like to dig into facts. I want to know facts. And if I don't understand things, I ask questions to get down to the bottom of things so that I fully understand what is going on, what's happening, and why. And then I get to the bottom of it to know what is actually happening in this transaction, what is actually happening in this whole process. And then once I understand it, it's better for me to let other people know and explain it to others. So I guess finding out the facts is my superpower. I guess you could say.
Very good. I appreciate your superpower. You just did a great interview. Raleigh, tell me what's your superpower. We're going to end every session like this. Why? Because we need more reminders than we need instructions. Raleigh, what's your superpower?
My superpower is a very good question. I believe my superpower is my ability to listen and listen and listen and listen and then respond.
Listen, then respond, Raleigh says. Hortons, you're still here with us?
Yes, I
What's your
am.
superpower, my dear?
Well, my superpower is clarity. I need to understand what's happening so that I can relay it, feel comfortable with what I'm doing, and can relay it to others and see the benefits that it can, other people can benefit from it, including myself and everybody else. Hmm.
So is it fair to say that we all want to understanding the base of all of this whole
Yeah.
meeting to understand some things better that are really important like money?
Because, like what John said, when you've been there and got gypped, and felt like they expose you. It's like taking off your clothes and exposing you to the world and leave you vulnerable. It's not a nice feeling. So you want to make sure that whatever you're getting into, it's it's legit, and you're getting something from it, that you're feel good to tell other people about it. Yeah.
Your superpower is to feel good by understanding something, then you tell other people about it. That's your
Yes.
superpower, right?
Yes.
I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And John, you did a great interview. Just occasionally, people go to school to learn this kind of presentation, John. We need to learn this really cool, and you need to teach it to other people. Thank you so much.
Thank you, John.
All
Amazing.
right.
Yes,
Amazing
thank you, John.
questions.
Lots of clarity.